How's it going, everybody? It is Skoda Based here with another tutorial for you. This is for people who are trying to play their output audio through their mic as input audio. For example, maybe you have a soundboard that you want to play while you're playing a game online, or you want to, share music with your friends through your mic, or you want to do things of that sort. You want to play your desktop audio through your mic as input audio. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that step by step. Okay, and here we are. We're going to get straight to this. First step is you're going to want to download Voicemeeter Banana and VB Cable Virtual Audio Device. Okay, the links are both going to be in the description, so you'll be free to click on those links and download them. They are going to be downloaded as zip files, so download them in a spot on your PC that you are okay with extracting zip files at. Okay, it's not gonna make a mess everywhere. It's gonna pop up another folder and it's gonna all be contained in that folder. Just one folder per app. Okay, so that's one folder for Voicemeeter Banana and one folder for the VB Cable Virtual Audio Device. Okay, now once you've got those links, okay, you're gonna have one link is gonna be this. It's gonna be the zip, and then the other link is gonna be this zip. Here, I'll show you. This is how it's gonna look when you go to the site. So for Voicemeeter Banana, you're gonna have this. This is exactly how it's gonna look. Okay, go down here, right here, download. It's gonna be a zip package. Voicemeeter right now. This is the one I have, I believe. I've just downloaded this no more than a month ago. 2.1.1.3. Okay, download that guy, save it, like I said, in a place where you're okay with extracting files. And then after that, you're going to want to get this one. Same thing. For this one, they have an app or an Apple and a Windows version. I'm going to show you the Windows version because I have Windows myself. I can't really go into depth with Apple, so if you're going to use Apple, please know that you're going to use it at your own risk. I don't know how it works. I'm sure it's fine, but I can't guarantee that. So please, like, if you're going to do that, do your own research and try to figure it out. But for Windows users, go ahead and download the new package. Don't be scared that there's an old package here. Okay, the new one is fine. This is the one that I use, and I've had no problems. I've been using it for a few weeks now, and I've never had a single problem. It works perfectly fine. There's no bugs and glitches or anything like that. So you should be okay. Just get the new package. Again, download it where you feel comfortable extracting a folder full of files, and you'll be good to go. Okay. Now, it's going to pop up and it's going to look like those old school like pop-up advertisements when you want to install it. Do not worry. It is totally safe. Just go ahead and install them. Install them both, okay? Now, after you install them, you got to locate your files, obviously, to install it. If you saved it to your start menu or whatever, it's going to look like this, and you'll be perfectly good to go. You just have to click on it, open it, and you'll be totally fine. However, if you install them or you can't find your install, you're going to have to look for them in your PC. This is what they're going to look like for to download in your files, okay? And I'm going to show you how to look for them if you can't find them, if they're not if it's not showing up, or it's like your downloads are automatic so you don't know exactly where it goes. Just go to your main local disk drive, your C drive, go to your program files, okay? 86, program files 86. I'm going to show you, see. Go to your file folder. Go to your local disk. Go to your program files 86 right here, this guy right here. Double click. Scroll down. Go to VB. That is Voicemeeter Banana right there. Double click. It's going to show you Voicemeeter. Double click again. Scroll down all the way down. You're going to see it's going to show Voicemeeter 64, Voicemeeter, all this don't click those ones. I'm sorry. Go to the Voicemeeter Pro. This is Voicemeeter Banana. This is the one you want. This is the good one. Okay. If you want to do the 64, if you have a 64-bit processor, you can go with the 64. That's totally fine. For older computers, just go with the Pro. I'm not even sure if there's a difference. There might not be too much of a difference, but just in case, I mean, I'd recommend just everyone just going to this one. Your computer will be fine. Then go to that, okay? And then once you click on it, it should open up to this. Okay? This is what you're going to see. This is Voicemeeter Banana, okay? I'm going to put this to the side. I'm going to put this here. Actually, I'll just leave this in the middle and just interchange them. So, this might look a little complex to you at first, but it's really fairly simple, especially when you use it all the time. It'll become more and more simple, and you'll start to like tamper with the little things here. But if you're just starting out, this might be a little intimidating. So basically, what we're going to want to do first is we're going to want to configure our inputs. Now, yours is going to start with input 1, stereo input 2, and stereo input 3. It's going to look just like this, but for all three of them, it's going to be empty. For your first one, for your first input, you're going to want to put your microphone, your primary microphone, the one you're going to use to speak through your input, okay? The device you're using to input for your communications. For me, it is my Corsair headset. Right now, I'm using my Blue Yeti mic for recording this video, but normally I will use my Corsair headset to talk with in like, you know, gaming or on Discord or Steam or something like that. What you're going to do is, so click here and pick what you're going to use. See, I have my Blue Yeti connected, but I'm going to use my headset for this because that's the one I'm using when I'm playing video games or when I'm interacting with people. Okay, right click and you can change the name to anything you want. Change it to whatever you desire. For me, it's Mike. And then you're going to want to check B1. Only B1 for this, for Mike. This is what basically activates Banana Meter as your input. So this activates your selection as input. It's activated as soon as you push B1. Now, for the second input, this is where the virtual cable comes in handy. You're going to want to click here, click on your virtual cable output. Okay. And for this one, I have MME because my WDM doesn't work. For you, it might be the same. These are just don't get intimidated by these either. These are just codecs. Codecs are basically what is used to translate the audio into a listenable thing. It's basically what translates your audio for you. And these are just like different languages pretty much. And MME is the most common Windows language for codecs. So that's the one that you probably should use, especially if your other ones aren't working. But if this doesn't work for you, you can go ahead and switch it to the other ones and see if those will work for you. But either way, you must pick the cable output VB audio virtual cable, okay, for your input, for your second input. Once that's done, go ahead and name it what you want, okay? Mine is going to be my soundboard because that's what I use it mostly for. But really, it's any input that you want is going to work here. I just call it soundboard. You can call it like, you know, whatever you want. If you want to call it like output devices, or if you want to put like, you know, desktop audio, or whatever the sounds you're going to make. You know, for me, it's soundboard because that's basically what I'm going to be using it for. But this could be used for like, you know, YouTube music or really any app that you want. But anyways, you can figure that out later. For this one, you're going to want to input A1 and B1. B1 is for the same reason as the mic. This is, you just basically turned your output into input by selecting B1. A1 is what hardware is going to be able to listen to it. So I have A1 set to my Corsair headset. So playing this is also going to play into my headset. That's why we have A1 marked on it. But you don't need to worry about that. If it's getting too complicated for you, don't worry. Just don't worry about it. Just mark A1 and mark B1, okay? Now, A2, if you have external speakers that you want to play through as well as your headset, you can also have A2 on. You see how A2 is connected to my speakers? That is used for your external speakers if you want to listen to A1 your headset and A2 your speakers. I'm not using my speakers, so I'm turning it off. Most of you probably are not going to use your speakers. It kind of gets in the way. It's loud. It could be obnoxious and it can create echoes and delays. So we're going to leave that as that. Stereo input 3. Don't do anything here. You don't need this. This is for more advanced users who want to add an extra virtual cable and do just more intricate activities. So that's fine. Okay. Let's see what I got here. Okay. So next we're going to check. I'm going to explain to you the outputs. These are the outputs I play outwards. I kind of described a little bit about a few seconds ago. But basically, you're going to want to set your first output to your listening device. That's what you're going to use to listen, okay? That's your main primary listening device. This is going to be your headset, okay? It might be the same as your mic. For me, it is too. That's the one you want to select, and it's the same codec here to match. For A2, you're going to want to use your speakers if you're using speakers. If you're not using speakers, you don't have to worry about it. But you can always, if you want, also, you can just preset it to your speakers, which should be your Realtek R audio, which is usually the default for any speakers on PC, at least regarding Windows that I know of. And so you could go ahead, even if you're not using speakers, you could set it as that for later on down the road and kind of, prepare yourself for when you do or if you want to get speakers. And this will correlate to what's being played as your output. So whatever's played in this input, you're going to hear it through that output. But like I said, if it's getting too complicated for you, just don't worry about it. Just do as I'm saying in these steps and you'll be totally fine. Okay. Next is going to be your virtual outputs. So your virtual outputs is basically this, okay? This is going to be, just set it to A1 and A2. That's for your speakers and your headset. You can tamper with the equalizer and treble and bass and all that. And that will affect the outcome of your input when you speak through your mic and your soundboards or what have you. You don't need to mess with this either unless you really get comfortable with it, and then you can kind of play with it. But unless you're an advanced user, I do not recommend toying with this. Just mark A1 and A2, leave these on. Just don't touch anything though, okay? Unless you're comfortable with it. Now, and do not, by the way, do not mark B1. What it's going to do, I mean, it's nothing crazy is going to happen. Your computer's not going to blow up or anything, but it'll loop through your microphone. So when you say something, it'll play it back, and then the playback will play it back into your playback, and then it'll just keep going back and forth, and you'll hear an echo, or it might have static, and it might get all funky and wild. You know what I mean? So don't do that. Don't mark B1. Okay. Now, moving on. Now that that's all set up, that's basically the hardest part. Now, your next part is you're going to want to make sure all your audio sample rates are identical, the same, or as close to the same as possible. And the way to do that is you're going to want to go to your menu here at the top right of Voicemeeter Banana. Go all the way down. Navigate to System Settings, okay? Click on it, okay? You'll have this menu here. At the bottom of this menu, it's going to say Preferred Main Sample Rate. It should have your default on here already. That's fine. Yours might be 44,100 hertz, okay? It might be less than that. It might be more than that. Regardless of that, it has to be whatever it is your default sample rate is, your main sample rate, the sample rate that you use all the time, okay? So keep it as that, all right? And if you're more advanced, you could change it to how you want. But if you're just, trying to figure this out for the first time, just leave it as the default or match it to what your main computer's default is. And I'll show you that here in a second. Okay. So from here, you're going to want to go to your control panel. For some of you, you might just need to right click here and it'll say sound settings. You go to sound and then it might take you to the sound. If you're on an older PC, it'll go straight to it. But on newer PCs like this one, I'm going to show you where to go. So scroll all the way down, go to more sound settings. Boom. This is the menu you want. And for other people, if you still can't find it, what you can do is go to your control panel. Okay. Go to your control panel. Go to your hardware and sound. Click on it. Click on sound. Okay. Boom. You're right back at your menu. Now from here, you're going to be at your playback tab. And like I said, you're going to have to match all your audio sample rates together, okay? So for me, I got my headset. This should be your mic or whatever your mic is connected to, whatever you're listening to. Go to your properties, okay? Right click, go to your properties, go to advanced. Okay, advanced. Once you're at advanced, go to here. It should match exactly what it says in your Voicemeeter. For me, you remember it said 48,000 hertz. This is the one I want. I'm going to go 24-bit because that's what my computer can handle. That's what I want. If you're at a 16-bit, that's fine too. Go with what your computer can handle and make sure that it all matches. Okay? Apply, then okay. Okay, that's for your headset. Next, you're going to want to go to your speakers. Go to your speakers, whatever your external speaker device is, your external listening device. Go to your properties and do the same thing. Advance. Same exact thing. Make sure it's matching. Okay, I got a 48,000 hertz, 24 bits. Cool, it's matching. Okay, for you, it might be 16 bits or 44,100 hertz. That's totally fine, whatever it is that you have. Okay, and now you're going to want to do the same thing. I'm using a Yeti mic, so it's playing as... Sorry about that. I apologize for that loud noise. I actually should have closed the window. I forgot to close the window. That's very obnoxious. Anyways, before I was rudely interrupted. Yeah, so basically, I have my Yeti mic connected, so it's playing as speakers. I'm not going to mess with this. That's totally fine. But for you, after you got your primary device's properties set up, go to your Voicemeeter input. Right click, property. Same thing. Make sure it's matching. Okay, good. Apply. Great. Now, I recommend also doing this for your Voicemeeter 1. Advanced, same thing. You're good. You could do this for all your voice meters. Excuse me. If you would like, if just to stay prepared so everything's matching, that's totally fine. Do what you got to do. You don't have to worry about these guys or nothing. I mean, if you want, you can go ahead and do it. Make it all the same. That's fine, but you're not going to mess with these anyway. So you don't have to bother with that. Just your main focus is what you're using to listen to, what your speakers are, and the Voicemeeter. Voicemeter 1 and Voicemeeter input. Okay? Those are your main ones. Those are the ones that you have to keep up to par. Okay? And whatever other devices that you're listening to is fine. Like if I was listening through this, I would fix these too. Okay? I mean, it's probably automatically, yeah, see, it's automatically anyways. And see how it can't go to 24-bit? So for you, it might be the same. You might not be able to go to 24-bit, and that's totally fine. Recording. This, you're going to do the exact same thing, except with your microphones. Instead of your listening devices, this is for your input devices. So go to them, right-click, advanced, same thing. For this one, you see I can only go one channel, so that's totally fine. As long as it's matching the hertz and the bits, you're good to go, okay? Okay, done here. Okay, and for this, you have to do this one as well. Cable output, this is one of your primary channels to help you speak through your input with your output. Properties, same thing. It has to be 2 channels. Make sure it's 2 channels so that way it's compatible with all your devices, okay? 2 channels, match it with the bits and the hertz. Make sure it's identical to your voice meter and everything else. Okay. Do the same for your Voicemeeter B1. Your Voicemeeter out B1, same thing. And any device that you use, that you're going to use, make sure it's the same thing. Make sure it's all the same. For this one, I can only go 16-bit, as mentioned before, so it's going to be stayed as that. Okay? Now that that's done, all your sample rates should be the same. Okay? Now you just have to set your devices, okay, to default, and your default device and your default communications device. For your playback, for me, right now, my communications device is my Yeti because I have it plugged in. But for you, it might just be your speakers. Whatever it is your headset is should be your default device. Okay? For your playback, it's you really just need it on one playback, whatever it is you're listening to, and you should be fine. So make your headset your default device. But if you have speakers, you're going to want to make this your default communication device. Okay? So you can put it on communications device if you want. What is it? Oh, I have it. Okay, there we go. So now it's on my so I can't really change it to communications device. So but just leave it on. You can leave it on default, or you can change it to default communication. It doesn't matter. It's going to stay the same. But if you have if you're listening to like speakers, make sure your headset is the communications device and your speakers will be the default device. Okay. But for right now, I don't have speakers on it, so my headset is my default device. Only make it your communications device if you have speakers as well, meaning at the same time, simultaneously. Okay? Sorry if I'm overcomplicating it, but long story short, make your headset your default device, period. And you'll be okay. For your recording, this is your mic. This is your input device. What you want here is to make your headset or your mic your default communications device, okay? And then make your cable output. You can make it your default device if you want. For me, or whichever one. Okay, so mine's on right now. You can see it's playing throughout one. So for me, you might be the same way. Make this as your default communications device and you'll be fine. And like I said, make this your headset should be the communications one, while this one is your default. Okay. Now, you don't have to make it this your default, but I'm just going to tell you to make it default right now because it'll make things easier, and I'll explain why. I'll explain it to you later. And right now, my default device obviously is my Blue Yeti because I'm not using the soundboard. So this is my default device. For you, you're going to have to switch it to whichever one's being active. It's going to likely be B1 because that's what you set it to. And you'll be fine, okay? So again, long story short, set your headset to your communications device and set your Voicemeeter out B1 to your default device. Okay. Now, after that, you're going to want to, you're basically all set. You're good to go on your Voicemeeter Banana app. Now you need to enable the app that you're trying to use to connect to Voicemeeter. And the way to do this is to go to your sound icon. You can open your volume mixer, okay? And you'll have these your apps that are active right now, okay? Your app, okay, so let's say I have a Steam Deck. So this is where I play my soundboards at, okay? Now, I want to activate my Steam Deck, but it's not here, and that's because I have to open it first. So if your app isn't there, you have to open it first. So this is me opening it, okay? And that's still not here. It's not gonna, it might not just pop up for you, okay? Just like it did for me. So what I gotta do is exit out of my settings, go back into my settings. Here, I'll show you the long way. Go to settings, go to your sound, scroll down, volume mixer. This is what you want to find, your mixer. And then go to your apps. It should be here. Oh, it's not here for some reason. Hold on. Sometimes it takes a while. So let me quit it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quit. You might need to quit your app, exit out of the settings, okay? And then go back, open your app, okay? Minimize that. Then go back into your settings, scroll down to your mixer, and it should, oh, why is it not here? It was here earlier. Let's listen. Let's play a song. There we go. I just had to activate it. So you got to play something or use something. Okay. Now I'm just going to take it off. And now it's there. So you got to activate whatever it is that you're trying to use, whether it's YouTube or Spotify or a soundboard. You got to activate the app and then it'll pop up here. Okay. Now drop down the arrow. Your output device must be the cable input. Okay, make sure it's the cable input, VB audio virtual cable. Do this for every app that you have. Do it for every app that you want to play through Banana or through Voicemeeter Banana. Every single one, you have to adjust it. And those apps, this is a warning. Those apps are going to play as long as you have Voicemeeter Banana active. They're going to play through your mic as soon as you play them. So if you have, say, like what is it called, like YouTube up, and you have the YouTube app activated through your cable, everyone's gonna hear your YouTube playing because you have it turned on. So if you don't want people to listen to it anymore, just go ahead and turn it off and put it on your regular default device. Put it on your default. Okay. And then it'll play like normal and everything will be back to normal. And then once you want to switch it back, remember, these apps are the apps that are going to play through your mic. So YouTube, Spotify, your Steam Deck, or your soundboards, whatever soundboards you have, whatever soundboard app you have, whatever. Okay. And that's how you do it. Okay. So that is essentially all you need. Now, from here, I'm going to show you how to do it on Discord. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to apply Voicemeeter to your Discord. And what you're going to have to do, of course, is open up Discord. Okay, I'm going to help you fix your settings for Discord. Go to your user settings, the gear icon. Scroll down a little bit to your app settings. Go to voice and video. Click your voice and video. For input device, you want to set your Voicemeeter out B1, VB audio VO. That's the one you want to select, the one that's inputting the sound. And then for your output device, this is the device that you're going to be listening to. Set that as your headset, the same headset that you've been using for this entire tutorial. Set it on there. Scroll down. And what you want to do here is you're going to want to turn this off. Okay, automatically determine input sensitivity. Turn it off because you want to be able to play your soundboards the way that you want them to be played, or your music. And therefore, you're going to want to adjust this. You might need to adjust it to about -65. I leave it on -50. I'm fine with that. But you can play with it however you want. An easy way to kind of figure out how you want it to sound is to get like a friend or a family member or even a second device, play the sound through your primary device, and then listen to it on your secondary device and see if it's coming out the way that you want. And if not, you know, like I said, just tamper with the decibels and see what you need to make it come out specifically for Discord. You can also open Voicemeeter and set up the decibels on here as well. Let it start up for a little bit real quick. And you can set up the decibels to be as high or as low as you want, you know. And then if you double click, it'll automatically set it to 0 decibels. So if you go here and you double click it, it'll set it to 0. That's like a fun little tip. So that's that. And you see now you can hear my voice because now it's activated because I have for my Voicemeeter is connected to Discord, which is so now it's playing through. So yeah, that's that. Now to test this out, go to a voice channel, and you can see you can hear me because I have Voicemeeter on, and then play one of your sounds. I'll play a sound for you, just like a gaming sound. I'll play like the Metal Gear Solid sound. Oh, it's not going through. Hold on, let me play the Super Mario sound. There we go. And some of these sounds, like the Metal Gear Solid sound, won't register. And I think it's because I have my OBS up, and so it's kind of interfering with my mics. And I also have my Blue Yeti mic going too. But if I took off Voicemeeter, you'd probably be able to hear it. Or sorry, if I exited out of OBS, you'd be able to see it better. For certain sounds, like I said, I'm not sure completely why, but I think it's just the OPS and the Blue Yeti and everything is just it interferes with each other. But at the end of the day, these work, and that's how you'll know they work because you'll see it'll play a sound or it'll highlight green around your PFP when a sound is being input, and therefore you know that it's playing through your mic. So that's how you can figure it out. Other than that, you can always, like I said, use a family member or a friend or play it through another device and hear it yourself to see if it's working. Okay, so that's how you do it for Discord. Now we're gonna go ahead and go to Steam, and I'm gonna teach you how to use it through Steam. How to set it up through Steam. Steam's pretty straightforward, cut and dry. So basically, you just go to Steam, go to the settings, go to voice, and then set. Okay, this is, I remember when I told you that I was going to explain to you why you should set it for your default device, or because now on certain games or certain settings for certain apps, if you set it as your default, then it's already going to be good. You're good to go on your default. However, some apps like such as Discord, you have to be specific and set it to the one that is set to. Like for me, I have to set it to this one specifically, and then it'll play out that way. But do that. If your default doesn't work, then just specify it more and you'll be okay. You'll be good to go. I don't really use it for Steam voice, so I don't need it. But if you do, you can use it your own way. And again, it's the same thing with the volume gain. You can mess with this and do it how you please until it comes out the way you want it to. And you should be fine. And that's all there is to it for Steam. For every other app, okay, they're going to use the same methods as Discord and Steam. It's going to be the same thing, basically. You just got to find the settings, find the voice, fix your adjust your input device to the B1, the out B1 Voicemeeter setting, and you should be good to go. Or your default setting. It should be okay on your default setting, but you might need to switch it. Just remember, you have to set your app in the settings as well, in your sound settings, your mixer. Okay, don't forget to do that. That's the only way it'll play. You don't have to do it on here for like the apps. You don't have to do it. You mainly have to do this for like YouTube, for browsers, for specific apps that are made for it. But if you can go inside the app, like a video game, like, you know, say you're playing with like Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is out right now. You could just go in the game and set it to the input device that you want. You don't have to do it from here. You only have to do it from here when it's like an actual application for it, like Steam, a soundboard application, or a browser if you want the browser. Okay. I hope this helped you out. And if it did, leave a like and subscribe. Please subscribe and like to me. I have nobody right now. I'm trying to build up. But you know, if you didn't get any help or didn't like it, then you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your time that you have today or tonight, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.